I do this one.
All right, let's call this meeting of the Board of Commissioners together. It is Tuesday, March 26, 7:30 p.m. We're privileged to be in Fostoria this evening. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. Thank you very much for welcoming us to your town. We appreciate the hospitality and all of you that came out to the Commissioners meeting. This is our first traveling Commissioners meeting. Our goal is to do this once a quarter and kind of bounce around the county. We're scheduled in June to hopefully be over in Attica if we can get that lined up with them. It gives people a chance to experience maybe a Commissioners meeting that might not normally and have some input as well as we go through this process. Not a real long agenda tonight, but this would be something typical of what you would see at a regular Commissioners meeting. We will begin with the signing of the journal, which is our record of the last meeting, and approval of the minutes. Is there a motion?
Right after roll call.
After roll call. I do that probably every other meeting. Roll call. All right, let's do the roll.
Commissioner Wagner.
I'm here.
Commissioner Stacy.
Here.
Commissioner Zoller.
Here.
All right, now we'll have a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as outlined.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Zoller.
Yes.
Commissioner Stacy.
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner.
Yes. Old business.
Don't have any old business today?
No old business. Nicole?
The only thing I have is to remind you guys that next Tuesday, I believe April 2nd, is the SCAT open house.
Okay. 1 o'clock?
I think it's in
It's
there.
12 to 5, and the ribbon cutting's at 1.
Yeah, and Larry called this morning and wanted to know if any or all of you guys wanted to speak at the open house.
To speak?
If you guys had anything to say.
One of us ought to just
One of us
say,
ought to say something.
thank you, have a nice time with your new building.
I think I would like to invite the previous commissioners in for that, since they were really instrumental.
They should have got invitations for it.
Okay, okay.
I'm assuming.
Okay.
And Jeff, I think it would be appropriate more for you to do the speaker, since again,
Part of
Commissioner
that.
Stacy and I are just kind of newbies in the whole thing, and we weren't.
It'll be very short, but I'll say 30 seconds worth of.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, and that's it. Commissioner, do you have any old business?
Yes, the job fair that Congressman Jordan's office has threw out the idea about doing a job fair in Seneca County, and then Fred was on some of the initial meetings with it, and we had a more expanded committee meeting today actually, and that date is set. I just want to reiterate that because I think it's a great thing that he's doing and helping with that effort, as well as the other partners at the table, which include SIDEC and the Chamber and
FEDC.
Jobs and Family Services out there, yeah. So a lot of groups, but it's set for May 13th at Tiffin University in Heminger, the new Heminger Center. And it's an afternoon thing, fine details to be worked out yet, but roughly a noon to 6 kind of a thing. I'm excited to be part. I'm gonna kind of take the lead with some others and work on the high school participant involvement and what that should or could look like, and what can we add value to those students and have something that's an educational piece for them. And then again, the whole objective is to bridge the gap between, we have jobs in Seneca County, we need to match it with those who seem to be needing jobs and help them bridge that gap, and have the educational institutions there as well to help with that, the employers telling them what they're looking for, what they're in need of. I don't know if Fred wants to add anything else, but it was good productive meeting today, and that's moving forward. So.
Yeah, well, we certainly, the area chambers and economic development departments of both Tiffin and Fostoria are out going to be discussing with area employers. This is not only manufacturing environment, the retail environment, the medical environment, of doing all of those things over the next couple weeks. Their deadline is to come back by the 15th of April with a list of prospective employers that will be exhibiting there. One of the things that I was amazed at, there was an individual there from Job and Family Services and so forth, that he was talking about some job fairs that they've had in Defiance and Elyria and Fremont and so forth and so on. And they mentioned to the point that the response was so overwhelming, they actually had to restrict people from coming in. They had to close the doors, let it kind of weed itself out within the organization, and then they would open up and let it in again. Another thing that I thought was enlightening to me is we're going to require a dress code at this jobs fair. Again, we're trying to connect adults with potential employers, and you don't come with what they call it pajama pants and stuff like that. Just things that you would take as a given when you go to apply for a job, and we want people to come in that type of dress, and because they're going to be talking with prospective employers that day. So again, I'm excited about it, and as Mrs. Stacy has said, Commissioner Stacy, she's taken the lead on some very important parts of the education community to try to bring it into the whole process, and things are fitting together, and
Great.
we have to go from there.
Thank you guys for your work on that. Did you have any more old business?
I think the other's under new.
Okay.
It's about from one of the committee meetings I was assigned to.
Okay.
And we haven't talked about that, so.
Okay. Old business? I just bring up one thing quickly. The community development block grant applications are due April 17th. And I want to make sure the county gets ours in on time for that. That's the ones that the feds give to us through the state, and we award to community projects. But we need to have some projects in there because, depending on what else lands, we may. And the two parking lots, I think both qualified.
Yes,
So
the CSB and the Job and Family Services.
Is it okay with the board if we apply using those projects?
Right. and
Well,
those
from
are
what I
gonna-
understand, I was
Qualifies.
talking with Joe Griffin in regional planning this week, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what I understand is, and I have asked her if she could get a newsletter out to all the department heads to state that there are funds available through with the community block grant, and then from what I understand is then that comes to the commissioners, and then we establish priorities.
Right.
In the process of that, from also what I understand, is that what the community block grant that used to go to Fostoria now is administered through Seneca County through the regional planning. But the funds have to be spent in Fostoria. So that I made a call to Mayor Keckler this week, and he connected with the engineer to get in contact with Jill so that we make sure that the application from Fostoria gets encompassed when we do have the application for Seneca County in together, so.
At a later date, we will rank all of the projects, but we want to make sure we have our projects submitted along with everybody else's so that they can be considered.
Yeah, but don't we get the list of all the projects and then we rank it, and that's.
Right,
and
we
that's-
rank it and we choose it, basically. But if we don't submit our projects also, we have to treat ourselves like everybody else, so we submit, and then we base.
So we're gonna submit it into ourself for ranking.
Right. Last year,
Okay.
we were the only ones that submitted, and we put it toward that air conditioner unit on the
CSB.
CSB building.
I think it may be worth this venue here to kind of explain at a high level of what this entails so that the residents know and the different municipalities know and how to apply for it. And what is it for? Myself being a novice in government, I don't completely understand it. Jeff, if you have a high level.
Well, very
that
high,
may-
because Jill's the one that really administers it, and Foster, I don't know why they didn't get their own this year, but it's rolled in with the counties from what Jill says at regional planning. Were you guys aware of that?
I don't believe I don't think it's the whole.
Okay.
Our entire allocation.
It must just be
It's
some portion
piece
of it
of
or
it.
something. Okay.
Because we already have applied for what would be our 2013 last year.
Okay, good.
Because it's all tied into our community housing improvement portion of WSOS.
I reread that this morning, and I know Jill said that Fostoria was rolled into the counties, but that may be a small snippet of it or
Yeah,
something.
because she had said when I talked to her about the parking lots that we have to have a project in Fostoria for the next 3 years for that funding.
We'll get with her
Maybe some
before the
clarification on that.
17th, and there may be some little pot of money if you have a project or something, but get with Jill for the details.
Yeah, he already started working on that yesterday, Fred called, and
Okay, great.
so we're already working
Great,
on that.
great. We'll have, she was guessing 88, 89,000 probably to distribute. It's went for fire trucks in different communities and, I don't know, water projects, road projects, just all sorts of things. So does the board have any objection if the staff here submits?
No, none
projects?
whatsoever.
Okay,
No.
okay, I just submit those two. All right, that's the end of old business, new business.
I have bill vouchers 37 through 42. I have an appropriation adjustment within the Maintenance and Repair Fund 020, moving $20,000 from contract projects to office equipment. This is at the request of the engineer. I have a resolution authorizing an appropriation adjustment made to the Recovery Act Rural Law Enforcement Assistance Fund 222, moving $1,799.10 from, that's a big number. The agenda's wrong. From other expense to equipment and contract services, from other expenses to contract services for $2,157.31, for a total of $3,956.41. The agenda shows $2 million, and that's not the correct number. So that one will have to be fixed for that to sign. I have a supplement to the permit appropriations to the Seneca County Road 38, 7.47, County Road 12, 1.46, County Road 52, 11.70 Bridge Rehabilitation Fund 091 for 2013, putting $1,308,727 into the Bridge Rehabilitation Fund. I have a resolution authorizing the Board of Commissioners to sign a release and settlement agreement with Faber. I have a resolution setting time, date, and place to receive sealed bids for the Seneca County Road 38, 9.32 bridge replacement, LPA 1302. That is set for 10:30 a.m. Tuesday, April 30th at the Seneca County Commissioner's Office, 111 Madison Street, Tiffin. A resolution amending the board's orders of December 27th, 2012, Journal 89, page 839, resolution authorizing the purchase of a 2013 Ford Explorer Police Interceptor. We put it down as a purchase, and it is a 3-year lease, so it was just a typo error that we have to amend. I have a resolution establishing the County Road 38, 9.32 Bridge Replacement Fund, 183. And I have a resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to certify 2012 County Highway System Mileage Certificate. 369.940 miles of public roads. And that's all I have.
Is there a motion?
First, I have a question. I had a call last night about the Herb Faber project, and that was something, I guess, that happened last year. Could you, for this group, just kind of outline what that is and what we have, what the release and settlement is to that, if you know, if you can elaborate on that?
It's a floodplain issue. Mr. Faber had filled in some area that he was not allowed to fill in. And our floodplain manager, Tia Rice, called him on it, and he had to do some remediation work. And somehow Clinton Township is also involved with this whole mix. Our prosecutor has negotiated with the whole group and come up with a settlement. So basically the county is saying we're satisfied with the remediation you've done on the property that you violated this floodplain on. Now there may be some money going back and forth between Clinton Township and her but the county, there's no money changing hands. It's just saying we're satisfied with the remediation. Am I correct in that? Okay.
Yep.
I had moved to accept the resolutions presented.
Okay, is there a second?
Seconded.
Any more questions or comments about them? Might note, the M&R, just for the audience, the M&R fund, maintenance and repair fund, that first one, that's gas tax and license plate fee. I don't know how you do it in the city, but we have to separate that out, and that can only be used for roads and bridges. Then that second one, that money we're moving for the sheriff, that was a grant the sheriff got several years ago, and this is just the tail end of it, kind of moving things around to get it used up. We bid the third one, that was a bridge replacement. We bid that, and we're just putting the money in place to fix the bridge. Any more comments? Okay, roll call please.
Commissioner Zoller?
Yes.
Commissioner Stacy?
Yes.
Commissioner Whitmer?
Yes. Okay, any other new business? Okay.
As the appointed representative for the Erie Basin RC&D, which is Resource Conservation and Development Group, the meeting was Friday, and we are one of 10 counties in the Erie Basin. There's 10 counties altogether. It was a very educational meeting for me because of not being totally very familiar with what all they do. But they do administer a revolving loan fund. So there's loans for downtown revitalization projects and renewable energy projects anywhere in the county. So if anyone's, I don't know how much, I know we've had representatives, Janet Dell's very involved, and as in one of their trustees actually on the, from the council to the board. But this is their recent, or the 2012 annual report, and then I did make a copy of about the revolving loan funds and the qualification things there. So, but it's communities of less than 25,000 population, and loans up to 15,000. So, if we knew of some businesses that were looking in the downtown areas, anywhere across the county to do some revitalization things, they might not be aware of this being available. And then there's renewable energy loans to help farms and rural businesses to be more energy efficient through renewable energy sources. So some things, again, I'm just not sure if people are aware of that or not. But
Probably not.
we have that info if anybody wants to see that. So that's, just wanted to share.
Okay, great. I had a couple of things, just briefly. I attended the Health Insurance Advisory Committee this morning. I believe you sat in on that for a while. A couple of things we'll need to think about in the budget next year. Mr. Burns told us that with the new health care law happening, there is, in 2014, a reinsurance tax, which will be $63 per person on our policy. So if I'm married with 3 kids, that's $63 times 5. So that Julie roughly figured $40,000 that we'd have to budget for that. Plus, they were kind enough to hit us with another tax, 2.5% premium tax. So that's based on the premium that you pay, there'd be another 2.5%. So this healthcare reform definitely wasn't free. So we'll have to consider that when we're budgeting next year. On the good side, our claims are running real good this year. They were like 72% of, what was that ratio? It was the claims paid versus premiums paid.
Yeah.
So we're at a very good number. He said anytime it's below 85, you're in good shape, which hasn't happened in the last few years.
Yeah, we've been as high as, I think it was last year was 93, the year before that it was 100-some% of premiums. But that is a sure indication of his rates are going to go up. And that we are, as Jeff mentioned, 72-73% of premiums right now. So it looks like if we continue that throughout the year, that would be able to stabilize some of our premiums, excluding this new healthcare issue, which is going to tax us at a higher rate there.
What was the first one called? The $63 per person tax?
Reinsurance tax.
Reinsurance tax. So that would be like an annual thing, not just a one-time.
I think he said 3 years. Well, once they started, the other thing I just mentioned, I kind of made an executive decision, unless you guys change me here. The Washington Street Bridge has flags at both ends of it. the north end the city takes care of, the south end the county takes care of. And we've done that for years. At some point, somebody volunteered to do that, and there was a misunderstanding. We thought they were gonna take care of all the flags, and as Stacy and I talked about it today, maybe they were just gonna do the half-mast thing, whatever, just take care of doing that, because we tend to forget about that one. The flag had been missing for some time, and Joe Steininger cornered me the other day, said, hey, that flag's been missing. So I told Dean, and Dean said, well, we understand that somebody else is gonna take care of that. Well, they haven't been replacing flags, so I told them, we'll just take care of it. So I assumed that was okay with the board, but that's the reason that flag hadn't been there for a while. We assumed, Dean assumed somebody else was gonna do it, and nobody was doing it, so.
Veteran Service gave us the flag to put it up. So.
Great. That's all I have for old business. Did you have anything, Nikki? New business? Any public comment tonight from anybody?
Just one, well, maybe a couple, when I get started, we'll see. But welcome to Fostoria. We're certainly glad to have you here tonight, and glad the attention that we're getting from the Seneca County Commissioners, especially in the economic development arena and this jobs fair with Congressman Jordan. I think is going to be a good thing for the county and for Fostoria. So
Good.
hope as this starts to unfold, we'll be able to put a lot of information out so people can get involved and get a lot of businesses involved that have jobs that are available. I think it's going to be a great thing. So thank you for the work that you're doing here, in the county and here in Fostoria. So thanks.
Well, thank you. Anyone else? All right. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Easy night. You guys are pushovers.